like bad movies. And I also like bad games. Actually, this game really isn't all that bad. Here's a better example. You see, I grew up in a time when nearly every movie that was released had a video game tie-in to it, and that included the bad ones as well. And that time was the mid to late 90s. And in 1992, the world was graced by this gem of a movie, if you can even call it that, The Lawnmower Man. It stars Pierce Brosnan and a few other random people doing some science fiction-y stuff, so that's that. And of course, there was a game released for it. The movie is actually not all that great, but the game, I was actually very surprised.
The game itself roughly follows the plot of the movie, with Pierce Brosnan using a mentally disabled handyman named Job as a guinea pig for an experiment to artificially make the man more intelligent. The military wishes to use the technology for their own purposes, and they end up sabotaging Job so that he becomes dangerously intelligent, which causes him to desire total control of the cyber world.
Trust me, the movie explains it better than I can, and it makes more sense.
The game consists of a variety of levels, such as platforming and 3D sequences. For the most part, the game is side-scrolling Contra-esque platforming levels with the 3D ones sprinkled in between. The 3D levels consist of flying through cyberspace while dodging obstacles, eliminating enemies, or these very nice shooter segments. The latter segments really seem to take advantage of the 3D capabilities of the Sega Genesis. The platforming levels are really what allow this game to be enjoyable, as they aren't overly difficult to navigate and the enemies are interesting. You have everything from FBI agents, scientists, dogs, helicopters, cars, bikers, monkeys. It makes sense if you've seen the movie. And giant bees. Though I'm not sure what that has to do with the movie.
Well, I did say the game is loosely based on the movie.
Before you start the game, you're able to choose whether you want to play as James Bond No. 8 or the simple-minded Job. There really isn't a difference between the characters aside from their in-game appearances. In each of the platforming levels, you are able to power up your weapon for increased speed and firepower. However, as in Contra, when you die, you will lose your upgrades. Also, in these levels, you are able to locate hacking terminals at which you must solve puzzles to successfully hack into them. This results in the machine exploding and giving you some goodies. The only problem I had with these terminals is the fact that the patterns aren't necessarily clear, so it may take a few attempts before you can complete one. Once you are clear of all the platforming and 3D levels, you are tasked with preventing Joe from escaping into the cyber world, and you must face him in a boss fight.
One tip that I have is to use a Mega Fire controller during these parts of the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Overall, I'd have to highly suggest this game, especially if you are in need of something cheap to expand your Sega Genesis collection with. The game has enough variety between levels to keep you entertained from beginning to end.
It's always been hard to say whether or not a game based on a movie is going to be good if you haven't seen it or played it before, and that was especially true in the 90s when you really didn't have a way to check a game before you even played it. And I came into playing The Lawnmower Man for Sega Genesis with a little bit of skepticism because I know the movie really isn't all that great. The game really isn't that rare, so if you do come across it, I'd highly suggest just picking it up. It shouldn't cost more than $1 or $2. Quick shout out to Scott for actually finding this for me in one of the thrift stores that we frequent very often when we hang out. He also found me these two games. I'm not sure I'm going to review them yet, but it's a possibility. So yes, Scott, I appreciate it greatly. Also, one of my best friends actually just started his first YouTube channel, and it's called The PvP Penguin, so I ask all of you to go check it out, subscribe to him, and like his videos. He's got a lot of promise. He does have a little bit of work to get through, but I think he's going to become a really good YouTuber, so give him a go for me. And also, we're going to be starting a collaborative channel together, so once I get the details of that worked out with him, we'll both make an announcement for you guys to hear, so that is that. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, so I'll see you guys next time. I think I broke it.